All right, all right, all right. People just are afraid to die. That's where the fear comes in, because it disrupts your plans as a human being. A lot of what you see and a lot of what you hear seems to be causing a lot of fear for one reason or another.
An outfit's scary.
I'm not here to make you afraid or to scare you in any way. If you want to be made to be afraid, go buy a ticket and you can ride the roller coaster.
Okay, I'm scared now. Was there fire on them boots? Oh no, I following down the trail. Oh, he's waiting on us. He's laughing.
Funny when you're following me around. These tall pines creaking. The breeze blows and they whisper.
Wonder what they're saying.
With the dog barking and yapping the whole time in the background. Now, if I move faster, you move faster.
I'll spill your coffee there in a minute.
Oh, you gotta love the wife.
Coffee cup.
Okay, so anyway, she's wearing a shirt. You gotta see this shirt. This. When you use coffee.
It's your shirt, actually.
That's funny.
My shirt. Okay, seriously. There's so many things that you could be looking into, and get afraid, I suppose, in some way or another. There's wars and rumors of wars and all of these things that are going on. See that you be not soon troubled or something like that. I don't know. I might have added or taken away there. But seriously, there is a lot of things happening. World War build-up concepts. People talking about things hitting the earth. And if you really want to look into some interesting things that are being planned, perhaps, whether it be by Fawcett or some Blue Beam project or something, but there's some things that they've got in the works, man, getting ready to go down. Check out some of these things, okay? I just want to interject something here. There is so many things to talk about. It's just unreal. And as we focus in, if we can, really pay attention. This is the time we really need our watch caps on. No kidding. There is so much happening, so much distraction. So have your wits about you, have your eyes open, your ears open. Just look them up for yourself. Don't know really any other way of saying some of it. Look up, you don't want to get scared. This is for those of you fear seekers. Go look at this Pedro Pio.
It's Padre.
Pedro Pio.
Padre
Pio.
Pio.
No, I'm joking about that. Pedro from Pio. Pedro Pio.
P-I-O.
As in Pedro.
Padre,
Pio.
as in priest.
Anyway, this guy was a monk, supposedly. He had what they call the stigmata. Remember they made a scary movie about stigmata? Where he was the only priest, as they are, those monks, but he was the only priest to have the stigmata. And he died just here recently, not long ago. Pedro Pio or Pio, I think. But he wrote some stuff, man, about some things, some prophetic things. But remember, it's in the Catholic genre, so you got to look at it. But remember, again, the geopolitical control from the Vatican, I mean, over the world, right? Every king kisses his hand. But it's an interesting thing. It's an interesting thing. With the world build-up of military and all of that. Yeah, boy, you could get shaken. But check that out. He talks about the 3 days of darkness or something. Something he supposedly seen or witnessed or whatever. Well, a lot of you know about the secret, third secret of Fatima. Anyway, in 1917, in Fatima, there was supposedly some vision. It was newspapers, and had printed up, there was 75 to 100,000, depending on which article you read. But 75 to 100,000 people there in 1917 that witnessed this amazing phenomenon. And they were calling it a miracle or whatever. Anyway, the Vatican swooped in on that one. They got the girl, and they had her locked up for a little bit at the beginning. Just all kinds of stuff. It was a lot of people don't know about that story, I guess. Long story short is supposedly these little kids had some sort of supernatural vision, and they was given prophecies. And once that was out, the girl that lived in the prophecy, there was 3 kids in the prophecy, 2 of them would die and 1 would live, and the one that lived, they kept her put away. And then she became a nun or something, again by the coaxing of the Vatican. She was just some shepherd girl or something at the time. Anyway, that was 1917, so you know how things worked back then. And so there's been a lot of to do about the third secret. You'll hear people talk about the third secret of Fatima. And the one priest that got close to it, if somebody ever come up with it, he wouldn't say it wasn't true. He would tell what was what or whatnot. Anyway, I guess he was just getting too talkative about things, and he came up dead. They say he fell down the steps with a heart attack, so maybe that's what happened. I don't know. Oh yeah, that thing about the vision, they said the witnesses, all those people that witnessed this was some sort of phenomenon. They call it the miracle of the sun. You can look into the miracle of the sun. That happened in 1917. Scared a lot of people to death, I guess. But a lot of crazy things, signs and wonders came from that, right? So supposedly this prophecy was sealed up. It was supposed to have been opened in 1960, I don't know. But there was letters slipped out from this one, and she said, do you not know, or do we want to tell them or something or another about that Russia would be used as the weapon or the instrument of judgment, something along that line. I don't know, those are things you'll have to dig into and find for yourself. Just wanted to add that back in there. Thought I'd come out here a little deeper and go for a walk as it is. The thing that seems to have most everybody in some sort of uproar of one kind or another seems to be the World War III idea, with all of the build-up and things like that with the military. A lot of people are hollering New World Order. This is what's going to flip this thing over into being. I don't know if you can see them walking all these rocks and things. Pretty cool. Switch hands to get a little bit better lighting here, I think. So everybody's got this fear thing going on, and the whole reason for that, it doesn't matter whether you're afraid a comet's going to hit the earth, or whether maybe it's going to be some sort of missile or nuclear crisis, or maybe we'll just get knocked off our axis by Nibiru or Planet X or something like that. Or CERN could explode and have a black hole, we all just get sucked right down into it all at once. all these things that people fear, you got to remember, they fear because it means death or anguish, you know, starvation, stuff like that. Who knows? It wouldn't be too hot. But we see what's happening with these refugees. We see how they're being moved, and the ones for their belief systems and stuff are being persecuted and killed. And that's a scary thing if you think of that trying to come home, I guess. And I can get where you can see me, but my arm gets tired holding this thing. I need one of them little sticks. I need one of those little sticks that they haul out there. They can stick you way out there. And maybe that's what we can do. Okay, there we go. I just hang you in the tree. That'll work. The reason people are afraid of all these things, whether they're talking the end of the world or climate chaos or whatever the scenario may be, major earthquakes, all of these things, all of it, crazy storms, tsunamis. They're talking about giant tsunamis. And if we had a nuclear war, I suppose that would be most feasible. Or if a planet hit somewhere out in here, the right size meteor or whatever it is. The reason people get afraid of all of that is because of death. And you see, if you weren't afraid of dying, then nothing that was going to take place could really scare you. Catch that? But you're paying attention. But you can be assured something has got everybody feeling a little stressed, it would seem. I mean, I understand, you know, you think about it, all the things that we've built as mankind, womankind, mankind, I sort of lump those together. The concrete and the lumber and the things we've used to build, and we're afraid of that all come crumbling down somehow and become just rubbish. I wonder if copperheads are out this time of year. Looks like there could be some holes there. But all the things that man is made of comes to rubble eventually. Very sneaky environment for sure. You can imagine how things are, you know, after war. Things go and nature takes it back, as it were, I suppose. Yeah, you gotta watch for the thorns too. All the snakes, all the briars. Those go together, don't they? I should have told you to get a pen. Y'all know how I bounce around a lot. I'd said some things about that highest guy at the beginning. I told you I'd tell you some other things to look up. Yeah, I should have told you to get a pen. You just do your homework. I'm not telling you what is true and what ain't true. I'm telling you to go dig in. Because when you look at it, depending on how you look at it, everybody's going to get something out of it, depending on your perspectives. Doesn't matter if you're a science buff or what. But that's something to look into. Then in 1963, in Garabandal, Garabandals, there was a second appearance of sorts that took place there in Garabandal, Spain, 1963. and you can look into some of that, because there was some messages to it of some sort. And then it was said to be like a brief form of the third secret. If you go digging into what, and again, it was kids that seen this. Now, I don't know if they were demon possessed and seeing some stuff, but something was going on. I mean, they had it documented and everything. I mean, they were sticking them with needles and all kinds of stuff. Kids weren't even there, man. They were just, they call it ecstasy, I guess, but I don't know. It's just some strange things to look into to see what they're expecting now. We know that some scriptures and different religions, all these different religions have sort of this end time event that everybody is afraid of. That's why if you look at 98% of the world population, I'd say maybe a little less than that now, maybe 97 to 98% of the world population believes in some form of deity, and regardless of what it is. I think there might even be a place over there where they think rocks are gods or something. I don't know. It's afraid of everything. Anyway, in some of these, well, all of these religions of sorts have an end, as it were. Prophecies that they've watched as they've been made and manipulated in some cases. The Catholics have another guy, Malachi. Well, there's Malachi Martin. He was a Jesuit. Now, this is something to look into just for the simple fact that the Pope that now resides over the Vatican is a Jesuit. It's the first Jesuit in history to ever be the Pope. And of course the Pope stepped down so he could come in there. Interesting. And look into his background, where he's from, over in Argentina, and how he overseen some things that make your head swim. Yeah, they were calling it the second, what was it called? You know, back in the day when the Catholics went around and was accusing everybody of witchcraft or some sort of craft, and was killing everybody and hanging them and trying them, and not the witch hunts so much as the Inquisition. Oh yeah, that's what it was called. And this Bergoglio, Pope Francis, he was said to be the one to oversee the Argentina. A lot of people come up missing over there, to be the one to witness all that stuff, to the head priest over it, to oversee it. And there were some different people that were let loose for different political reasons that came out. Some different things, interesting things. But with all that's going on, I mean, these are just things you can look into if you want to look into some different prophetic aspects, to see what people are saying. People are having a lot of dreams. Of course, they've been doing that for a long time too. I was one of those. Having a lot of chemical warfare now. They just announced another so-called chemical attack. It injured 600, supposedly killed one baby or something. There's a lot of things talking about different airstrikes or different things killing the children, and there really are. I mean, if you look at the refugee situation, the refugees, these are the ones that were fleeing the war front and wherever the war was, and trying to get to somewhere where they can start over or be safe at least. And they've been split from their families. There's orphans and just of every age and idea, and they're all being herded like sheep on a massive scale. See, this is the idea for the UN. If you're going to move countries around and shift them, it's not going to be your miniaturized FEMA. That comes after the big catastrophe, right? Anyway, one of the interesting things though is that in that Fatima thing, that girl, again, remember the Vatican got hold of that and took it, and so they haven't let it be released, supposedly, not the real one. But Malachi Martin was a Jesuit priest, and he got to read it, supposedly, and he started talking too much with Art Bell on radio or wherever it was, so they play his show on YouTube, some of them. But he started talking too much, and then he ended up dead. I think I already told you that. Things to look into, though, of what's going on with the Vatican, and why the Lucifer telescope. What are they doing? And if you look at that Garabandal, Spain, what I was talking about there, they're supposed to have some sort of sign from God, supposedly. Now again, this is over there. Check it out. And the priests are all over this one now. And it's supposed to put up some sort of sign, like a beam of light, something that can be witnessed by the world now. Everybody's going to be able to see this, supposedly. And they're waiting for it to happen, and they named one of 3 months. Now the girl that supposedly knows the date, or is supposed to know the date, or will be told when to say the date is, you know how that works. Regardless of who's telling her, right? I mean, they are in that whole thing of, now this is supposedly the married, okay? And they want you to pray to Mary. And you Catholics know exactly what I'm talking about. But Scripture's pretty clear. It says, call no man father, for we have but one Father, and that's him in heaven. Now that's the truth of what that says. And that's the truth of really what it is. We have but one Creator. And Pope Francis has pointed that out to the Muslims and the Buddhists and the Christians and the evangelicals, and you pick a religion and go with it. And ultimately, according to him, we all pray to the same God. And according to him, at one point, I guess even atheists get in. You don't even have to believe in God. Then we have the Albert Pike thing. People are knocking that one way or the other. Get a copy and read it. It's the best you could do. It was written before World War I. It was its first original copyright. And again, it's sort of a Masonic. You know, it depends on where you live and what your experiences in life have been as to how you take news and how you digest information and regurgitate it even. And maybe that sounds a little absurd, but those of you with any intelligence about you understand that completely. Okay, so now we got good color, and I don't have to hold the camera. That works right there. I just got you stuck, propped right up there. That works all right. Now the sound, I don't know how good that'll be, but I can come up here maybe and squat down and just sort of relax. But then I'm out of the picture, so. And that's probably what I need to be, is out of the picture. What you need to be thinking about is having you in the picture. Hey, all right now. All right, all right, all right. Everybody talking about that, huh? Yeah. Okay. Now, we do have, as a human, the tendency to worry when we shouldn't. And we also have a tendency to not worry when we should. It's like the old story, you know, the kid that cried wolf. If you don't know that one, boy, you really way are back, or behind. And maybe you don't, so don't take that wrong if you don't know the story. Boy, it cried wolf. Look it up. And, or Chicken Little, the sky is falling. You know all of those things. And that's what a lot of people out here do, boy. They'll tell you all kinds of stuff, and some of it's right, true, and some of it ain't. And you got to know what's right and what's not. And I'm telling you what, there's things you need to be paying attention to that your mass media and the majority of YouTube's not going to tell you about. But you got to remember the Council on Foreign Relations and the UN and all of these different things that are in the works that are going on and what they're actually trying to achieve, and who really is enemies and who really isn't. And unfortunately, how things are going to unfold. Now, people are worried about North Korea and launching theirs off, and they've got good reason. You keep pushing at them, push them in the corner, and threaten the far out of them. But they've done it so often, the boy cried wolf, so nobody's expecting anything and has no reason to worry. Even though our war games are about preemptive strikes as well. Russia's already stated they're ready for preemptive striking if they feel endangered in any means. And we keep building NATO up along their ridges all the way around. And we're neck and neck and nose over there in Syria, right in the middle of it all. Isaiah 17 talks about that one and how Damascus will fall. We're told that we're going to throw our gold and silver in the streets. So that's scary to a lot of people that like money. Remembering the love of money is the root of all evil. Ah! And they really are pushing for a one world government. And so the community of people has been broken through race and religion and just different points in life for money, for power, for fame, for all of these things. Some just for livelihood, I suppose. But everybody's got a reason to do the things that they do. Eyes to see, ears to hear. Jade Helm. The sevens on the cows, remember that? You gotta weed through the good and the bad to find out what is going on, for sure. Some's real and some isn't. Jade Helm. Got a big Indonesia trade. That was North Korea back there. Everybody testing and trying to secure for EMPs for the old girl. You have to go through so much, and you watch. You see the politics, and you watch as things fulfill and unfold right before our eyes. Looking for that one world leader, top of the world. If you were. Vatican Bank plays a big role. A lot of people bow to that boy. The Jesuit. And then of course you have what they refer to as the Black Pope behind the scenes. A lot of things going on people aren't aware of, really. But you have to know how to weed out what is and what isn't. North Korean leader with Indonesian leader. This is some of the royal families gathered. I reckon they're going hungry. There's some things from the Denver, Colorado airport. Some things are more real than others. And that's where it gets scary. Men showing up everywhere with all the right contacts. All the leaders of the world. Even old Russia. Just made friends with the Russian Orthodox. That was Turkey there. There he is in Indonesia. Yeah, they play a part. Maybe it's just the Jade. I don't know. Royal families the way they are. You know what those are. They've got a couple on display at Denver Airport.
as statues. Everyone just watches it go by. Some real, some false, all the crazy things of life. Who is and who isn't. Everyone vying for the top position. Royal families are making selections behind the scenes. But they won't have world peace that they're hoping for until after they've created a major war. Things have to change. People have been selected for whatever positions they're in, for whatever purposes. And this has been building for a while. You just follow the money. Another interesting thing, this fella here, sitting under this big, gigantic painting with the Eye of Providence on top. He, Pope John Paul II. Look into how he's buried. They brought him back up. They've got a camera on his casket. Yeah, that guy right back there. Right there. They got an eye on him. They got a camera on his casket 24/7. Are they expecting to raise him? Is this one of the things transhumanistic? Could that make Bergoglio here with his 120 ambassadors to the countries of the world? Maybe he could be, well, there he is, a Ban Ki-moon and the princess, or the queen, I'm sorry. UN there. Yeah, he's in all the right places. Like I said, big jade trade. Hey, there was Obama in front of that Denver paintings. Oh, hand in the jacket. Napoleon looking kind of, isn't he? Old Bergoglio. He is with a Cuban leader. Seriously, look into how they're buried. Swiss banks here over here, how they're buried or how they're monitoring Pope John Paul II. Need I say more here? The Credit Suisse private banking. This is what's coming, folks. They painted it, they're planning it to bring about their new world order. That comes when they bury the dead of, well, this war. They're going to bring it about. All the other things and calamities that go with it. Keep your eyes open, folks. Keep your wits about you. Repent and know your maker.
All right, all right, all right. People just are afraid to die.